Hello everyone, my name is Rahim Sheikh and today we are going to discuss past perfect continuous tense. Okay, so before this tense we have discussed all the present tenses and the up to past perfect tense we have discussed in our previous videos. Okay, this is the master tense series and we are going to discuss all the tenses in this series. So now we are discussing past perfect tense. So as usual we will start with when to use a past perfect past perfect continuous tense. After that we will see the positive sentence structure, and next we will see the negative sentence structure, and in the last we will see the interrogative sentence structure in past perfect continuous tense. Okay, so this is what going to be in this video. So first we will see when to use. Okay, when to use. So first use is to show a duration, and to show the duration, to show the duration of an action in the past. So what does this mean? To show the duration of an action in the past means, let's say one action which is started in the past and continued for a duration and after that ended in the past only. So to tell about that action we use past perfect continuous tense. Okay, let's take one example. She had been studying for 3 hours before rain started. She had been studying for 3 hours before rain started. So here there is one action. She had been studying. Well, it is past action. It is past action. It started in the past. It ended in the past only. So and it continued for a duration. It continued for a duration of 3 hours. She had been studying for 3 hours. So that action lasted for 3 hours and ended in the past. To tell about that action, what we are using here, past perfect continuous tense. Okay. So to show the duration of an action in the past, this is the first use. And what is the example? She had been studying for 3 hours before rain started. Okay. Now let's take another use, that is to explain. To explain cause or cause. We can say to explain cause of the action. The action, or you can say past action of the past action of the, here the should be there, right, of the past action, to explain cause of the past action. So what does this mean? Let's say one action started in the past and ended in the past, but after that too you can see the effect, or you can say cause effect of that action. Let's say whole day you worked very hard, so what will be the end of the day? You will be tired, right? So to tell about these sentences we use past perfect continuous tense. One example, he was very tired because he had been working all the day. He had been working all the day. He was very tired because he had been working all the day. So what is the result here? He is tired. He is tired, right? But why he is tired? Why he is tired? Because he had been working all the day. Means that action started in the morning and till the night he worked. So he worked for a duration. Okay. To tell about that we use past perfect continuous tense. Okay. Past means what? Which is already completed. Perfect means, past perfect means in the past only, it is completed, fully completed. Okay. Continuous means it continued for a duration. It continued for a duration. If you remember like this, if you understand like this, it is very easy to remember. Okay. So past perfect continuous tense means it started in the past, it ended in the past, but it continued for a duration. That's it. Okay. That's what past perfect continuous tense. So what are the two uses? First is to show the duration of an action in the past. Okay. Second usage, to explain cause of the past action in the past only. Okay. So these are the uses. Now let's see the positive structure. So it is easy only. There are only two helping verbs here, that is had been. So what are the helping verbs here? Had been. But for all the subjects we have to use the same helping verbs here. So positive sentences. Positive sentences. So first structure, subject plus had been. Had been plus fourth form of verb plus object. Okay, so this is the structure OBJ, right? Subject plus had been plus fourth form of verb plus object. So what is the structure of past perfect tense in positive sentences? Subject plus had been plus fourth form of verb plus object. So in any positive sentences, we are taking first the subject at the first position, right? Now you should understand that perfectly. Now, what is this had been? This is the had form, right? This is the have form, had. Had is the have form. And been is the be form. In first video, we have seen this be form. Now here be form is there, right? And one thing means whatever be forms. What are the be form? Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. These all are the be forms. So here, whenever it is be form, so we always use fourth form of verb. Okay, with be forms we always use fourth form of verb. Or you can say whenever it is continuous tense, it can be present continuous, past continuous, or it can be present perfect continuous or past perfect continuous. We always use fourth form is ing form. Okay, so how you will remember this? Whenever it is continuous tense, whenever it is continuous, it can be perfect continuous or it can be only continuous. So we always have to use ing form in that sentences. Okay, if you understand like this, means it is very easy to remember. Okay, so here what is the had been? Had been is the only helping verb for singular and the plural subjects. So only one helping verb is there, that is had been, and we always have to use fourth form of verb. Okay, you understood up to this? Now let's see the first example. She had been studying. She had been studying. She had been studying for 2 hours. 2 hours before the power went. Before the power went. She had been studying for 2 hours before the power went. So here, which sentence is in past perfect continuous tense first? So this is the subject, this is the helping verb, and this is the first form of verb, and remaining part is what is this? Object. Okay. Now see here, and this is the second part, second action. This is the result. Okay, not result. This is the second action. So before this action completed, she had been studying for 2 hours. So this action started, lasted for 3 hours, and ended. Okay. So here, what you need to understand for this part for. So whenever we are using here in past perfect continuous tense or present perfect continuous tense, we use for or since. This is used for time duration, or you can say duration. Okay, for a duration, and this for starting point. Here we need to mention the specific time, but here whenever we are using for, so many students get confused with this for and since. So for that I am explaining here. For we use time duration. Okay, 2 years, 2 hours, 2 months, whatever duration. Okay, with since morning, since evening, since 2 o'clock, since last night. Okay, here we have to specify one point of time. Okay, you understood what is the difference between for and since? So this is how we are going to use for and since in past perfect continuous tense or in present perfect continuous tense. Okay, so here this is the difference. Now let's take another example. They had been playing. They had been playing. outside before rain started. Before the rain started. Okay, now what they had been doing, they had been playing outside before the rain started. Now what is this is subject. Now see, here it is singular subject, here it is plural, but for both of the subjects we are using same helping verb, that is had been. Okay, so there is only one helping verb, that is had been in past perfect continuous tense, right? They had been playing outside, this is the fourth form of verb, and this is the object. Okay, so this is the another action. So now let's take another example. He was very tired. So here it is showing the third example, right? He was very tired, or you can say okay, here I am taking very tired only. He was very tired because he had been working all the day. He was very tired because he had been working all the day. Now here see, here this is the effect, this is the cause, and this is the action which started in the past and ended in the past. So this is how we can use the past perfect continuous tense, okay, in English. So I have discussed few examples, and I think you understood from these examples. After this, you have to note it down, all the examples whatever I have written on the board, and you have to try to write few examples by your own. Okay, then only you can understand perfectly. If you are just watching my video and if you are not writing anything, you will understand, but after some time you will forget everything. Okay, so make sure that you are writing and you are revising whatever I am teaching here. So now we will see the negative sentences. Okay, this is all about positive. Now let's move to the negative sentences. So it is very easy. So after here I'll change it. Okay, had not been. So here not will come after had. Okay, negative sentences. Subject plus had plus not plus been plus fourth form of verb plus object. So many students, what they do here, they make one mistake. They use not after been. But what you need to understand here, we use not before been. Okay, after had and before been. Now let's see one example so you will get a better understanding. First subject, let's take that example. She had not been studying for 2 hours. She had not been studying for 2 hours before the power went. Okay, now even if I take this much, it's fine. Now she had not been studying for 2 hours. So this is negative. So after had I am using not. This is what you have to remember. And this is been, right? Before been and after had. Okay, this is one example. She had not been studying for 2 hours. Let's take another example. They had not been playing outside. Playing outside. They had not been playing outside. So what is this? Where you have to use not after had and before been. They had not been playing outside. This is the another example. Subject plus had plus not plus been plus fourth form of verb plus object. Okay, this is the structure. So let's take another example. The boys had not been attending the classes. Boys had not been attending the classes. So this is the third example. Boys had not been attending the classes. So what you need to understand here, we always have to use fourth form of verb, that is one. And after had, before been, you have to use not. Okay, don't use not after been, that is wrong. Before been only you have to use not. Okay, so this is about now let's see the verbal questions. Okay, now we have completed positive sentence structure and negative sentence structure. Now we will see the verbal questions. Okay, so now tell me what does mean by verbal questions. Okay, so what is the definition of verbal questions? The questions the questions which start with helping verb. Okay, so here you know that already, I told you, right? Now what is the helping verb here? Had plus subject plus been plus fourth form of verb plus object. Now many students, what they do, they make one mistake here. They use had been together. Means how they will do, had been plus subject plus fourth form of plus object, but that is wrong. First had should be there, after that subject will be there after been. Okay, subject is in between of had and been, so don't use had been and after that subject, that is wrong. So here let's see one example. Had she been studying? Had she been studying for 2 hours? For 2 hours. This is question mark because this is question, right? Had she been studying for 2 hours? Had she been studying for 2 hours? Now see, this is had, right? First, after that subject, after that been, after that fourth form of verb, and remaining part is object. So this is the structure you have to follow. What is the example? Had she been studying for 2 hours? Now let's take another example. Had they been watching a movie? Now you know that even for singular subject and even for plural subject, there is the same helping verb, that is had been. So had they been watching a movie? This is one question. So how you will answer these questions? One more question we will discuss. After that we will answer the answers. Okay. Had the girls been talking in the class? Had the girls been talking in the class? So now here I have written 3 questions. First one, had she been studying for 2 hours? Had she been studying for 2 hours? So what is the possible answers? This is verbal questions, or you can say yes no type questions. So this answer can be answered with yes or no. With yes means yes, she had been studying for 2 hours. Yes, she had been studying for 2 hours. Negative answer, no, she had not been studying for 2 hours. Okay, you understood? Question and their 2 answers. Okay, now see this one. Had they been watching a movie? What is the positive answer? Yes, she had been watching a movie. Negative answer, no, she had not been watching a movie. Last one, had the girls been talking in the class? So what is the positive answer? Yes, the girls had been talking in the class. Negative, no, the girls had not been talking in the class. Okay, these are the verbal questions, or you can say yes no type questions, and along with their answers I told you. Okay, now the last one, that is WH questions. What is the last one? WH questions. So here I will modify this structure for WH questions. There is no big change, you already know that. In previous videos I told you, okay, how we can frame the WH questions from the verbal question, right? So here let me wipe this. So now this is WH question. So you know what is the difference between verbal question and WH question. So from verbal question we just need to add WH word here. Okay, WH word before verbal question, that's it, and it becomes WH question. Okay, now WH word plus had plus subject plus been plus fourth form of verb plus object. Now what is the example? First example, what had she been doing? She been doing since morning. Since morning to evening. Since morning to evening. Now, let's say I'm asking about yesterday, which is past. Since morning to evening. What had she been doing since morning to evening? So now this is WH question because this is what, right? What had she been doing? Now first WH word, after that had, after that subject, after that been, and fourth form of verb, and after that object. And I told you since means the starting point, to means after ending point. So one action that started from morning to evening. Okay, now let's take another example. How had they been writing their exams? Writing their exams, question mark. Okay, how had they been writing their exams? Now this is WH word. Okay, and what is this? Helping verb. After the subject, this is helping verb. So what you need to remember here, so this is first form of verb, and in the last this is object. So what you need to remember, as I told you in previous videos, whenever you are framing any WH question, after that you must use helping verb. So what is the structure here? First WH word, after that had, after that subject, after that been. Here this is composite helping verb, right? There are two words. There are two words in one helping verb, that is had been. There are two helping verbs in short. This is be form, this is have form. So there are two helping verbs, and one helping verb we have to use before the subject, and one helping verb we have to use after the subject. If we are using this both together, it is wrong. You should not use that. Few students, what they will do, what had been she doing since morning? This is wrong, right? It is not giving any sense. So what you need to do, you need to practice this, then only you can understand this perfectly. So make sure that you are practicing all these sentences whatever I'm writing here, and you are making your own sentences. That is more important than this. Okay, you should make your own sentences. Yes, you can make mistakes, that's possible, right? But you, whatever sentences you are writing, just write in the comment box, so I can see that, and I will give you the feedback. Okay, so this is all about past perfect continuous tense. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you will get the notifications whenever I upload new videos. So thank you for watching this video.